Certain Affinity welcomes you to our latest Forge tutorial. In this tutorial we will be covering the basics of building a map using Forge in Halo 4. Forge allows anyone to easily build their own maps which can then be shared and played with anyone around the world. This tutorial will cover some very simple functionality in addition to highlighting new features in Halo 4 which make map making easier than ever before. To begin, select Forge from the main menu. The game type will default to basic editing. This is the ideal mode for building out your map initially. However, be aware that you won't be able to set up specific game types without launching in that mode in Forge. Every map can be edited in Forge, but there are several maps which are designed specifically for Forge editing, and have a large amount of objects which you can place in your level. These Forge maps are Erosion, Impact, and Ravine. We'll be editing on Ravine for this tutorial. Select Start Game to begin editing. Once the map loads, you'll be placed in edit mode as a monitor. The controls here are similar to normal player controls. The left stick is used to move forward and sideways, while the right stick controls which direction you're looking. Additionally, the bumpers can be used to raise or lower the monitor. The left trigger can be held down to increase the movement speed. Very useful for quickly moving across the map. Lastly, pressing up on the D-pad switches the player between edit mode and player mode. Let's place an object. The menu on the right side of the screen displays your map budget and menu options. Press X to open the object list. Here, everything you can place in Forge is separated into different menus. There's a lot to choose from. For now, navigate to Structure and select it. Structure is where the majority of the pieces you'll use will be located. Select Bridges and Platforms. Here, you'll see that all the bridges will add $10 to your budget, and the number next to that is how many more of these objects can be placed. Place a bridge large. The reticle is now changed to indicate that you're currently holding the bridge. Camera controls change slightly when holding an object. The main difference is that you will only be able to raise or lower the object by using the bumpers. Additionally, holding the right trigger holds the object in place and allows you to twist and turn it using both sticks. While holding the right trigger, pressing up and down on the left stick will zoom in and out while holding the object. These controls can take some getting used to, but once you get the hang of them, it's actually very quick and easy to use. We're going to place another large bridge piece, but there's a faster way to do it this time. Duplicate is a new feature added to Forge in Halo 4. Instead of waiting through the menus to place the same bridge again, we can duplicate it instantly. Simply highlight the bridge, and press down on the D-pad. It can be difficult to align these bridges perfectly using the sticks and bumpers. There's a couple other ways of getting this done. We'll start with the slower method. Press B to access the Tools menu. Select Edit Coordinates. This tool can be used to make very slight adjustments which can be difficult when using the sticks alone. In order to get the bridges aligned to each other perfectly, you may need to select the original bridge and open the Edit Coordinates page. This will snap the bridge to the grid, allowing it to line up flush with your other bridge. There is, however, another option which is new to Halo Forge which can make this process quicker and easier. Press B again to access the Tools menu. Scroll down to Magnets and change Enable Magnets to True. Now simply grab your second bridge object with the A button and pull them together. Note how you can easily snap it to the other bridge by dragging it nearby. There are also magnets on the bottom of the bridge, so if they aren't lining up quite right, just tap the bumpers to force them into place. By combining duplicating and magnets, we can very quickly build a long bridge. Magnets will also snap evenly together with other bridge pieces. Press X to bring up the object menu again. Select Bridge Diagonal. Use the magnets to snap it onto the end of your bridge. And then use the Duplicate button to create another bridge diagonal. And connect this to the end of the other bridge diagonal you just placed. Rotating this by hand can be difficult to get just right. We can use Rotation Snap to solve this. Press B to open the Tools menu. Change the Rotation Snap setting to 45 degrees, and then press B to exit the menu. Now when you rotate your object, it will only rotate 45 degrees at a time. By using magnets, duplicate, and rotation snap, you can very quickly put together a lot of objects. It's not just bridges that have magnets. Almost every object in Forge has magnets attached for quick construction. It's generally a good idea to use magnets to build out your map early on, and then later start using the sticks and edit coordinates for precision adjustments. This bridge can serve as a simple Mongoose racetrack. Let's place a few obstacles on the course before giving it a test drive. Press X to access the object list. Use B to back up until you're at the main menu, and then select Gadgets, and then Explosives, and place a fusion coil. You'll notice that unlike the structure pieces we've been placing, these won't clip into the bridges and will instead act more normal. These are affected by gravity, won't clip into objects, and they'll also tumble around if dropped. This can be changed on any object. With the fusion coil selected, press X to access the Properties menu. There are three options for physics. Objects with the normal setting are affected by gravity and will not clip through other objects, making them behave most like real-life objects. Objects that are phased, like bridges and all structure pieces, will not collide and will float in the midair when you let go of them. Fixed objects are a mix of the two. They won't fall when you let go, but they also won't clip through other objects. Set the fusion coil back to normal and place a few of them around the track using duplicate. Now that we have a track and some obstacles, let's place a Mongoose and test it out. Hit X to access the object menu. Use B to back up to the main menu, and select Vehicles. Place a Mongoose on your track. With the Mongoose selected, hit X to open the Properties menu. Change the spawn time to 1. This is how quickly the Mongoose will respawn if it blows up or is destroyed. Now we can press up on the D-pad, enter player mode, and test out the track. As you can see, we respawn back at the beginning of the map. We'll need to place some spawns on our tracks so we don't need to fly by every time. By default, 3 initial spawns are placed on the map. Let's delete these now with the Y button. There are 2 types of spawn points in Halo: initial spawns and respawns. Initials are only used when the map first loads, and after you die, you'll spawn at a respawn point. Since this is a one-player track, we'll only need to place 1 initial spawn and 1 respawn point behind our Mongoose. Hit X to bring up the Objects menu, and use B to back up to the main menu. Select Spawning, and then select Initial Spawn. Place this spawn behind the Mongoose. Note that the direction the hologram is facing is also where you'll face as you spawn. Now open the Object menu again and place a respawn point. We're set to test again. We should respawn at the point we just laid out. And that's good to go. So now it's time to save up the map and test outside of Forge. Hit the start button and then select Save as New Map. And enter your map variant name. And then a description. And you're good to go. Now that the map has been saved, in the future you can simply select Save Map to save some time. To test your map, select War Games from the main menu, and then select Custom Game. For the game type, select Infinity Slayer since we haven't set up any specific modes. And then find your map variant under the base map used, in this case, Ravine. And start game. Once in game, make sure that the Mongoose is respawning and that you spawn at the 2 points we placed. And that's it. You've successfully made a map variant. Of course, you'll want to share your creations with your friends. To do that, the map needs to be on your file share. From the main menu, select Wargames, and then Custom Game. And then find your map variant in the list and hit Y to access the File Options menu. From here, you can edit the map name and description, as well as upload it to your file share. Obviously, there's a lot to learn with Forge. We have some other tutorials up and we'll be adding more. In addition to those, just keep experimenting. One of the great things about Forge is how quickly you can get something in place and try it out. From all of us at Certain Affinity to all of you, Forge on!